Most recent contribution to the American music scene is how it got its name. So-called house music was first made in the creators' houses, but it was also performed at clubs called the Warehouse and Powerhouse. However it got its name, it's one of the hottest things going, and as Jay Levine reports, it may only be a matter of time before house musicians become heroes in their own home.
Gotta have house music all night long. With that house music, you can't go wrong. Give me that house music to set me free. Lost in house music.
In 1971, DJ Frankie Knuckles and DJ Larry Levin are leaving the show. They walk upon a pastry truck and steal a couple of bags of donuts apiece. They run away and they run right into the NYPD. The best friends are both sent to Spofford Juvenile Center in the Bronx due to their parents refusing to bail them out. Once there, the pair saw Robert Williams, who was a counselor at the center and someone they knew from a club that they frequented called The Loft. The Loft was a members-only club that didn't serve food or alcohol, but was the location of the first underground dance party and was very influential in New York City's gay scene. Williams left New York for Chicago in 1972. Williams' first attempt at a nightclub was U.S. Studio on South Clinton Street, yet due to the large amount of police inspections and raids, it led U.S. Studio to shut down. In 1976, Williams found a 3-story white building with blacked-out windows that had formerly been a warehouse. The building at 206 Jefferson Street became known as the Warehouse. Williams reached out to Knuckles and Levan to DJ at his new club. Levan was about to start his legendary run at Paradise Garage in New York City, so Levan declined Williams' offer, yet Knuckles was interested, yet still a bit hesitant. Frankie Knuckles performed at the grand opening of the Warehouse, but didn't become the permanent DJ until July of 1979. Originally member-only and alcohol-free due to the Warehouse being a juice bar, the crowd of the Warehouse was predominantly Black, Latino, and gay. The music being played at the Warehouse, or house music, is a form of electronic dance influenced by disco and soul music. Yet in the early 80s, disco's popularity was beginning to diminish.
It's where I wanna be. It's gonna set you free.
On July 12, 1979, the disco demolition was held at Chicago's Comiskey Park. The disco demolition was a promotion between the Chicago White Sox and a radio DJ where a crate full of disco records were to be blown up at center field at Chicago's White Sox Comiskey Park. This would take place between the games of a twilight doubleheader between the Chicago White Sox and the Detroit Tigers. This was the idea of radio DJ Steve Dahl. Dahl was a scorned former DJ at WDAI. WDAI switched its format from rock to disco and fired Dahl. Dahl went on a very vocal campaign against disco from that point forward. He went so far as to record a parody of Rod Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy called Do You Think I'm Disco. Dahl went on to even establish an anti-disco organization called the Insane Coho Lips. Dahl would play disco songs on his new station which was a rock format. Then Dahl would drag the needle across the record and play a blowing up sound effect. Dahl started hosting Death to Disco rallies at nightclubs around Chicago. Mike Veeck was not only the White Sox assistant business manager and promotional director, he was also the owner's son. The White Sox at this point in the season had a record of 35-45, with attendance being less than 10,000 people per game. Veeck approached Dahl with the idea. Fans would be admitted for 98 cents, which was WLUP's frequency, as long as they brought a disco album. Yet, as one employee noted, a lot of the records that people were bringing were not disco albums. They were R&B and funk albums by black artists. Disco was especially popular with Black, Latino, and the gay communities. The backlash against disco was beginning to be viewed as discriminatory hatred of those communities, coupled with the frequent raids on gay clubs. The predominantly 18 to 34-year-old white male demographic burning the records of artists largely associated with a female, Black, Latin, and gay community felt misogynist, racist, and homophobic. For the people of those communities, the term disco sucks became a dog whistle for discrimination. Dahl drove out onto the field in a military jeep and army fatigues. He blew up the records, and then a riot ensued. Fans rushed the field after the detonation. The field was so damaged by the explosion and the rioters that the White Sox had to forfeit the game. Overnight, stations switched back from disco back to rock. The disco backlash was in full swing.
Gonna set you free.